close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.
Hello!
Hey.
I'm Rachel Garcia, and this week on Classroom Feature, we're interviewing Mr. Mosher.
Hey.
Hi, what do you teach?
I teach a couple of things. I teach, all year I've been teaching physics, Regents physics, but this year I've been also given 2 elective classes where I've been teaching a different type of programming every trimester. And this is the 3rd trimester of that. So this is a year where I've taught so many different things. It's pretty crazy, and I really like it. So the first class was a cloud computing class where it was like, how do we use Amazon computers to like run something like a website or an app or something like that, and get some ideas about how to do that and how to set up something like that. The second class was about designing a game, making a game that you can you can push keyboard buttons and you can choose like what your character looks like and learn about all of the math that makes that work. And then the 3rd trimester that we're doing right now is web design. It's a class where I'm teaching how everybody can make their own websites using the different programming languages that make stuff show up on a website.
Nice. I want to do that next year.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
I went to school for college, undergraduate. I went to NYU, and that was I started off, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Thought it was maybe going to be a math major or something like that, and I took my first math class, which was Calculus 3, and Calculus 3 didn't go very well. So, but then I took another physics class, and it was called Physics 2, and it was like electricity and magnetism, which is kind of the stuff that I'm teaching right now in my physics class. And it made the math make that much more sense. So I was like, okay, I think physics makes more sense than math. And so that's when I became a physics major. And I was thinking about becoming a doctor, but I decided to not do that because I didn't think it was a good idea. And maybe I could tell you a little bit about that later. I eventually got into teaching because it turns out that there was a program for people to become go into the job of education. So there was a scholarship, and I was able to get my master's degree completely paid for, which is really amazing. And I was able to become a teacher in 1 year. And I went to NYU for that too. So I went to NYU for 5 years, but I got 2 degrees.
Nice. What is one thing you want your students to know about you?
One thing, I think it's kind of obvious if you have me as a teacher, but I really, really, really like the things I'm teaching. I think that they make your life better or more interesting. Like, physics lets you see all the reasons for the way that stuff is, and the way that it acts, and the way that it looks like it kind of automatically, naturally goes. It's all the natural laws. And we have computers and stuff around us. We're probably outnumbered in this room by the number of computers and things. Like, how many laptops are there? And there's like a couple of people in this room right now. So, you know, we're a little outnumbered, but if we can figure out how to control them, that's I don't know, it looks like it's like magic to some people. But I really like designing websites. I really like designing programs and stuff in my spare time. So it's like, I really enjoy it. I want to try to inspire other people to enjoy those topics the same way, if I can. That's kind of my goal. But I really love this stuff. I'm not making it up. If there's a topic that I don't like teaching, I'll tell you. Like, there are some topics that I am a little frustrated with in like physics, but by and large, I'd say I really like all of it.
Nice. You really like your job.
Yeah, teach good stuff.
What is one piece of advice you have for our generation?
I'd say you should think about, like everybody, a lot of people have an idea about what job they want to do when they get older, and they kind of think of that as like a fixed sort of thing. Like you're going to get older once, and then you're going to get a job, and that's going to be it for the rest of your life. And that usually doesn't happen with most people, as far as I've heard. Like, I know a lot of teachers who had a different job before teaching. I know a lot of teachers go into a different job after teaching. I know a lot of people who go from doctor to lawyer to all kinds of different things. The reason why I bring this up is because the reason why I didn't want to become a doctor is because I followed a doctor around at his job. I asked him. It's not like it was some sort of thing where I was sneaking around the halls, but I was there, and he said, you know, when he would introduce me to patients, he would say like, hey, is it okay if he stays here? He's kind of like my intern. And I got to know like what's it like being a doctor, what's it like interviewing people, finding out what they need and stuff like that. And I found out that the hours were really long, and that I would be very discouraged by insurance, sometimes not paying for things. That would feel really bad, where I know that somebody needed a certain kind of medical treatment, and then they weren't able to get it because they weren't able to pay. Oof. And I thought, I don't know if this is the career path for me. And I don't think I would have believed that, because a lot of doctors were telling me, hey, you might want to think about another job. It's not like what it used to be. It's very different. And I didn't listen to any of them. But it was a lot easier to listen to what I felt like when I was there. I was like, okay, this seems really cool. A lot of people respect you. Sometimes you get free lunch sometimes and stuff like that. But there's the other side of it. I was like, ooh. So if I had to give advice, I would say try to figure out some way to think if your path, your idea, where you're going to go, is really something that you want to do. And I'm not sure if there's an easy way to test that out. Like if you want to be an astronaut, I'm not sure how you can test that. But you might want to think about the skills that you would need in that kind of job. Like, what do you need day to day? And if you're okay with doing that every day, or like a lot of days, and if you're not, you might want to think about something else. I think that's, like, try it. You'd be surprised at what you might realize, oh yeah, no, this is not for me. Or, oh wow, this is for me. I felt the same way about teaching. I was like, wow, okay, this is a lot easier than I thought it would be when I tried it. When I thought about it, I was like, whoa, stage fright every single day. It didn't happen when I was actually in the room. It was just sort of like, oh, I like talking about science. That's cool. I can do this whenever. Oh. So try stuff out. That's what I would advise.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Mr. Mosher.